Jack's life takes a wild turn on the day he believes he is finally about to meet his online girlfriend in person. Full of excitement, he heads out to see her, and she messages him saying she is already watching him from inside a nearby cafe. Jack looks around and realizes the cafe is right across the street, so he quickly starts moving toward her, but before he can cross, she suddenly tells him to stop and run around in a circle 3 times. Without questioning it, Jack happily does exactly what she says. The moment he finishes, Truck-kun slams into him. Somehow, Jack survives the crash, but before he can even understand what just happened, a meteor drops from the sky and finishes him off. When Jack opens his eyes again, he finds himself in a mysterious place he has never seen before. Nearby, he notices a man who casually tells Jack that this is already his 2nd time arriving there. Then the man flies away using a jetpack. Jack spots a strange tube and starts wondering where it leads. But before he can figure anything out, a jetpack suddenly appears on his own back as well. The jetpack launches him forward, and Jack is pulled into the tube. On the other side, he sees that the same man has been placed on an auction stage. However, nobody seems interested in bidding for him because, during his first reincarnated life, he apparently failed to accomplish anything impressive. Eventually, a bizarre-looking creature makes a bid for the man, but right after that, the man is transformed into a bacterium. Before Jack can react, his jetpack carries him straight onto the auction platform. The crowd is shocked when they realize a real human from Earth has appeared. At first, everyone wants to take him to their own planet, but then they discover that his soul is irregular. As soon as they learn this, their excitement disappears, and they lose interest in him completely. Jack is then sent over to a huge gacha machine. There, he meets a beautiful girl who explains that this is the place where his next destiny will be chosen. The girl notices the confused look on Jack's face and asks if something is wrong with him. Jack says he is simply struggling to understand everything that is happening. She tells him that almost every person feels lost when they first arrive there, but Jack says that is not exactly what he means. Then he suddenly leans closer and tries to smell her. Annoyed, she warns him that she can make him wander forever through the dark world of dead souls. She then reveals that she is actually a goddess. Jack says he already guessed that because only a goddess could look that beautiful. Jack then asks her about her chest size, so the goddess immediately hits him on the head and tells him to watch a video instead. She shows him the final moments of his life. Jack asks whether she had permission to record him, saying filming someone without consent is illegal. The goddess simply replies that human laws do not apply to her. As Jack watches the footage, he realizes that while his online girlfriend had been messaging him, she was actually sitting with her real boyfriend. The goddess points out that Jack has suffered strange accidents every time he tried to meet that girl, and she says his life honestly feels like some kind of comedy show. The goddess explains that Jack is now in a special place where people who died in pathetic or miserable ways are offered another chance. She describes it as a waiting room for reincarnation into other worlds and tells him that he can be reborn as almost anything he wants. She places him inside a ball, and as he rolls around helplessly, she warns him to stay quiet unless he wants to be reborn as a bacterium that lives for 10,000 years. Jack is surprised that he is allowed to choose his next life because the stories he read never worked like that. The goddess proudly says she is better than those other goddesses, but also explains that popular worlds usually have very long waiting times. She asks Jack whether he wants to enter a world that another goddess abandoned halfway through creating. Jack immediately dislikes the idea, so she calls him too picky. After looking through the options, Jack finally finds a world that he actually likes. He transforms into a heroic-looking figure and gets ready to go there, but then he is shocked when he learns that the waiting period is more than 50,000 years. The goddess tells him that, with only a 500-year wait, he could be sent to a village where every person only repeats one line of dialogue. She then shows him less popular options. One world would let him become a hero, but everyone there would secretly laugh at him behind his back, and the waiting time is only 5 minutes. Jack then asks about becoming a demon king, so the goddess changes his appearance into that of a demon. However, she explains that he would still need to wait more than 27,000 years. Jack wonders how long it would take to enter a world where the Demon King has already been defeated, because he thinks he could spend the rest of his life enjoying a harem of girls. But the goddess tells him that even that option still requires waiting for thousands of years. Finally, she brings up another world where the Demon King is constantly mocked behind his back. She says the waiting time for that world is only 8 minutes. But Jack refuses that option too, because he has no interest in living in a world where everyone laughs at him. The goddess tells Jack that he can reach a much better world, but only if he comes up with an idea that no one has ever imagined before. Still, she is sure he will be trapped there for ages, because she already understands what kind of person he is. A pervert who only wants pretty girls, exciting adventures, and an easy life. Then she tells him to choose quickly, because her favorite show is about to start. And if Jack makes her miss it, she threatens to reincarnate him as a tiny microbe. She explains one important rule to him. If he picks a world and then lives a life that does not satisfy him, he will be sent right back to this place again. So she warns him to think carefully and not ruin his second chance. Jack finally decides what he wants and says he wants to become a hero with insanely powerful abilities, surrounded by a harem of beautiful girls and with a happy ending waiting for him. But the goddess tells him that option has a waiting time of more than 60,000 years. Hearing this, Jack immediately changes his request and asks to become the hero's rib instead. The goddess is shocked by such a strange wish, but Jack explains that if he becomes the hero's rib, then all the beautiful girls hugging and touching the hero will also be touching him. The goddess realizes his dream is actually much smaller than she expected. As she gets ready to send him away, she tells him to be careful in his next life. Jack thanks her, saying she is the first girl who has ever treated him kindly. But before he can leave properly, she shocks him and sends him off. The goddess relaxes and starts watching her favorite program. But suddenly, Jack returns and almost crashes down on top of her. The goddess punches him away before he lands. She says she already expected him to come back, and Jack admits that he did enjoy himself. But he returned because his life still did not end happily. Jack begins to explain what happened, but the goddess stops him and says she can simply watch his past life on television. She sees the hero whose rib Jack became. The hero defeated every monster that stood in his way, and people praised him for saving them. Beautiful girls hugged him with gratitude, which made Jack extremely happy because he could feel it too. Jack points out the girl he liked the most, but when he confesses his feelings, both the girl and the hero hear his voice. Confused, the hero starts checking his own body to find out where the sound is coming from. Jack tells him that he has been reincarnated as one of his ribs. The hero then pulls out a rib, but it turns out he removed the wrong one because Jack is still inside his body. The rib that was pulled out suddenly transforms into a perfect copy of the hero. As the goddess watches the two heroes fight, she assumes the original must have won because he had overpowered skills. But Jack reveals that the clone also had the exact same powers. In the end, the clone wins because he has one extra rib, while the original hero vanishes and leaves only his ribs behind. The clone starts speaking, but the goddess notices that Jack is fast-forwarding through that part. Jack explains that it was just a very long speech. After that, the clone awakens the other ribs and tries to merge with all of them. However, every rib has its own mind and personality, so instead of combining, they start fighting each other. The fifth right rib and the seventh left rib get into a massive battle that destroys the planet. But the goddess complains that their ridiculous names are making the story hard to enjoy. Then the 10th left rib decides to create even more clones using his own ribs. But he also wears a mind control mask, which lets him control the copies. Meanwhile, two of the ribs fall in love with each other. Jack, on the other hand, gets bitten by an animal-type heroine, and instead of being upset, he actually enjoys it. Later, the third left rib uses a powerful rib miracle and wins the battle. Everyone except Jack ends up buried. After a long time, Jack is discovered by a heroine who loves farming. She turns him into fertilizer, but Jack still does not feel satisfied with how his life turned out. He is sent back to the goddess once again. The goddess points out that, from what she saw, he actually had plenty of fun during that lifetime. But Jack says he still cannot move on because he wants her to fill him up instead. The goddess tells him that if she did that, she would have to burn him into ashes first. Jack then wonders whether he could become fertilizer again if she burned him. The goddess says there is only one way to find out, and immediately burns him to ashes. But then she remembers that there are no plants in that place, so she quickly brings him back to life. Jack admits that he has no clue where he should reincarnate next. To help him decide, the goddess gives him a strange box-shaped creature that can choose the right world for him. Jack shakes the creature, making it dizzy, and then it spits out a lottery ball. When Jack reads it, he sees the words hermit crab written on it. And with that, episode comes to an end. Like and subscribe to stay tuned for the next episode.